Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever been rejected by someone who once made you feel like you were not enough, but now, all of a sudden, they're back? The texts start coming in again, the calls, the random likes on your posts, the hey stranger messages that seem innocent but carry hidden motives, and you sit there wondering, why now? Why after all that silence? My friend, this is not an accident. This is what happens when silence and growth speak louder than words. When you level up, people feel it, even from miles away. When you heal, they sense that peace they once disturbed, and suddenly they want to return to what they threw away. But here's the truth. Your worth didn't rise because they came back. They came back because your worth was never gone. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you stopped chasing, when you stopped begging for attention, when you shifted your energy inward, your entire vibration changed. And people who once rejected your peace are now chasing the calm they can't find anywhere else. But the key here is this. You don't need to take them back. You don't need to prove anything. You only need to recognize your value, hold your ground, and protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Today, we're going to break down exactly why they come back when you move on, and more importantly, how to stay in control when they do. We'll go deep into Stoic discipline, emotional strength, and self-mastery, so you never lose your power again. Stay locked in, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to turn rejection into redirection, pain into power, and silence into self-respect. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments right now. My peace is priceless, and I protect it fiercely. Number 1, silence changes everything. When someone rejects you, the natural reaction is to explain, defend, or chase closure. But here's the secret. The moment you stop reacting, you gain all the control. Silence makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to face themselves. Most people expect drama, begging, or resentment after rejection, but when you disappear and choose stillness instead of noise, they begin to realize something powerful. You didn't need them to heal. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And silence is the strongest reaction of them all. When you stay quiet, you stop feeding their ego. You stop giving them emotional access. You show them, without words, that you are at peace with or without them. This shift shakes people to their core because they expected weakness, not strength. Think about it. People often reject what they don't understand or what they take for granted. They see you calm, focused, detached, and living your life, and suddenly they remember the warmth you brought, the stability you offered, and the energy they misused. They come back, not because they've changed, but because you have. They come back because your silence made them realize you were never the problem. Their lack of awareness was, here's what you must do. When they return, don't explain your silence. Let your energy speak. If they ask why you stopped talking, tell them, "I found peace in my quiet." That's not attitude, that's self-respect. Don't let them guilt you for outgrowing their chaos. You are no longer the person they rejected. You've evolved, and your silence was the bridge between who you were and who you've become when they come back. Stay calm, stay composed, and stay silent. They'll talk, they'll test, they'll tempt, but nothing breaks a person who has learned to master their emotions. Remember, silence is not passive. It's power in disguise. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their noise. Number 2, Your growth threatens their comfort. When they rejected you, they thought you'd crumble. They thought you'd chase. They thought you'd drown in the noise of heartbreak. But what they didn't expect was your evolution. They didn't expect silence to become your fuel. They didn't expect you to rise, rebuild, and glow in peace. That's why they're back. Because your growth disrupted their comfort zone. When you grow in silence, when you stop chasing validation, when you shift your energy toward bettering yourself, you become unpredictable, and people fear what they can't control. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You stopped talking about change. You became the change. You stopped trying to prove your worth. You lived in your worth. And that's when the tables turned. See, when you grow in peace, it forces people to face their own stagnation. They start to realize that while they were chasing attention, you were chasing purpose. While they were playing games, you were mastering yourself. Your discipline, your calm, your focus, all of it silently exposes their lack of it. And that makes them uncomfortable. People come back, not always because they miss you, but because your progress reminds them of their own lack of it. Your silence becomes a mirror, showing them everything they ran from, and that reflection burns. But here's the command: don't shrink back to make them comfortable again. Don't apologize for healing faster than they expected. You owe no one access to your peace. You owe no one an explanation for your silence. You don't need to revisit pain to prove your compassion. The same people who rejected you when you were growing will try to return when you've bloomed, not because they love you, but because they miss the energy that loved them. Guard it, protect it, and don't let them drain it again. When your growth triggers their return, stay still. Let them feel the distance they created. Let them see that you are no longer reachable at the same emotional level. Because once you've mastered silence, you've mastered control. Number 3, silence creates mystery. They can't ignore. When you stop explaining yourself, you instantly become powerful. Silence creates curiosity, and curiosity creates pressure. People can ignore your words, but they can't ignore your absence. When you walk away without warning, without drama, without closure, you become unforgettable. They start replaying every conversation, every message, every decision, trying to figure out what changed. What they don't realize is that you didn't change overnight. You simply outgrew their chaos. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." That means when you choose silence, you might look like you're losing at first, but you're actually winning long term because your calmness speaks for itself. Your silence builds an aura they can't touch. It makes them question themselves. It forces them to realize that the power they thought they had over you no longer exists. Understand this clearly. Mystery is not manipulation, it's self-mastery. You don't owe the world constant updates on your emotions. You don't need to make loud announcements when you evolve. You just move differently, and your energy shifts everything around you. They will notice when your tone changes, when your presence fades, when your attention is no longer available. That void becomes their reminder of how much they undervalued you. The silence you gave them is the loudest echo of the love, patience, and loyalty they once took for granted. When you withhold access, you teach people to respect your boundaries. When you stop feeding their ego with attention, you force them to sit with their own noise. Silence is your armor, your discipline, your message, all wrapped in peace. When you're tempted to explain why you stopped talking or why you moved on, don't let them wonder. Let them feel the confusion they once left you with. You don't owe them answers. You owe yourself peace. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence creates power they can't ignore. Number 4. Silence makes you unpredictable and powerful. When you stop reacting, you become unreadable, and that's when your power multiplies. People can predict chaos, they can predict arguments, but they can't predict calmness. When you go silent, you remove their control over your emotions. You no longer give them the satisfaction of seeing you angry or hurt, and that unsettles them more than any words could. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Your silence is that revenge, not fueled by hate, but by control. You're no longer matching their noise, you're mastering your peace. Silence isn't just about saying nothing. It's about understanding that not every situation deserves your energy. Every time you hold back a reaction, you prove that your emotions are under your command. That's what makes you unpredictable. They can't figure out what you're thinking, and that uncertainty becomes your weapon. When you're silent, you force people to face the consequences of their actions. They expect you to respond, to chase, to explain, but when you don't, it exposes their behavior. Silence creates space for truth to rise. It makes people uncomfortable because it shows that you don't need to participate in their chaos to win, and that's what true strength looks like. Discipline under pressure. In every argument, the one who speaks less holds the most control, because silence keeps your energy contained and your dignity intact. The next time someone tries to provoke you or pull you into their emotional storm, don't react. Let them talk. Let them create the noise. Because the louder they get, the more your silence dominates the moment. Power isn't always about speaking. Sometimes it's about knowing when not to. Number 5. Silence teaches them you can't be controlled. When you stop reacting to people who try to manipulate your emotions, you show them that you are no longer their puppet. They can't control what they can't predict, and silence makes you completely unpredictable. The moment you decide that your peace matters more than their validation, you take your power back. People who rely on control feed off reactions. They thrive on seeing you explain, defend, or overthink. But when you stay calm and quiet, they have nothing to feed on. They start questioning themselves. They start feeling powerless. That's the power of restraint. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Silence is self-mastery in action. It's proof that you've evolved past the need for approval or revenge. You are no longer reactive, you're reflective. You're not moved by every insult or provocation. You move when it serves your purpose. Understand this. Silence is not weakness. It's control, and control is power. When you no longer respond to games, guilt trips, or manipulation, you teach people that their influence over you has ended. You set emotional boundaries without ever speaking a word. You stop being available for chaos, and that's when your peace becomes untouchable. People who once thought they could break you start realizing they can't even reach you anymore. They begin to miss the access they once had to your emotions, your kindness, your energy, but now that door is locked, and silence is the key. When they try to provoke you with questions, silence them with stillness. When they expect reaction, give them indifference. Every time you stay composed, you're reminding them that your emotions belong to you, not them. Control your reaction, and you control the outcome. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence is proof that I control my peace, not them. Number 6. Silence makes them face themselves. When you stop responding, you force people to hear the sound of their own actions echoing back at them. Silence is a mirror, and most people can't handle their reflection. They start replaying the moments, the words, the choices they made, and the silence makes them question everything they thought walking away would make them feel powerful, but your calm absence leaves them restless. They start realizing that the problem wasn't your presence. It was their immaturity, their pride, their inability to value you when they had the chance. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." That delay, that space between their chaos and your reaction, is where your strength lives. Silence becomes their teacher, and you become their lesson. They wanted to test your patience, but you gave them wisdom instead. You taught them that not every action deserves attention, not every insult deserves a reply, and not every person deserves access to your peace. Your stillness forces accountability, and accountability burns the ego. That's why they come back confused, apologetic, or pretending like nothing happened, because your silence made them see what words never could. It revealed their own weakness, their own emptiness, and now they crave the balance they once mocked. But don't break your silence to comfort their guilt. Don't speak just to ease their discomfort. That's not your responsibility. Your peace is sacred, and your silence is part of that protection. Let them wrestle with the noise they created. Let them learn through absence what they took for granted in presence. Every time you choose stillness over reaction, you remind the world that real power isn't loud. It's composed, it's disciplined, and it's self-contained. Number 7, silence makes your value impossible to forget. When you stop explaining, stop chasing, and stop forcing connections, something powerful happens. Your absence begins to highlight your value. People start realizing what they lost when they no longer have access to your energy. Silence leaves an imprint, a mark that lingers in their mind long after the conversation ends. They start remembering how calm you were when they were chaotic, how patient you were when they were dismissive, and how genuine you were when they were fake. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Your silence through rejection, disappointment, and disrespect was your polishing moment. It refined you into something rare, something unshakable, something too valuable for the ordinary. While they were looking for attention from the crowd, you were building discipline within yourself. That's why silence becomes unforgettable, because it's rooted in dignity. People forget words, but they never forget presence. When your energy was available, they took it for granted, but when your energy disappears, it becomes something they crave. That's the beauty of silence. It teaches appreciation the hard way. You never have to prove your worth again. Your peace already did that. When you go silent, it forces people to replay the moments they didn't cherish. Every calm response, every time you chose understanding over argument, every time you stayed composed instead of emotional, all of that replays in their mind, showing them what true strength looks like. Silence doesn't need to scream to make an impact. It whispers in the spaces they can't escape. When they come back pretending they've changed, stay grounded. Don't rush to fill the silence. Don't break it just to ease their guilt. Let them sit in it. Let the quiet reveal everything words never could. Number 8. Silence ensures you never lose your power again. When they come back after rejection, it's tempting to respond, to explain, to give them a second chance. But here's the command: don't. Your silence is your strongest defense, your clearest boundary, and your ultimate power. The moment you speak, just to soothe them, to justify yourself, or to make them feel comfortable, you lose control. You give away the very thing they didn't value the first time. Silence ensures that you remain untouchable. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Your silence is a reflection of that truth. It shows that you want nothing from someone who once rejected you, and that peace is more valuable than any approval they can offer. When you stay silent, you protect your energy, your confidence, and your self-worth. You refuse to allow anyone to dictate your emotions or shake your calm. Understand this clearly. Silence is a weapon and a shield. It doesn't scream, it doesn't beg, it doesn't chase. It commands respect without words. People who return after rejection are often seeking control, attention, or validation. Your silence denies them that. It forces them to see that the game has changed, that you are no longer available for manipulation, that you are no longer the person they dismissed. They realize too late that your value wasn't theirs to give, and your silence makes that realization undeniable. When they show up, stay still. Hold your boundaries. Let your energy communicate what words cannot. They can want, they can ask, they can plead, but your silence ensures that you dictate the terms, not them. Power lies in restraint, in composure, and in knowing that your peace outweighs their presence. Every time you choose quiet over reaction, you reclaim yourself. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence protects my power and my peace. I answer to no one. If you've watched this far, remember this. Silence is not absence, it's dominance. Every time you resist the urge to explain, to chase, to react, you reclaim your power. Every time you stay composed while they scramble for attention, you remind yourself that your peace is non-negotiable. The people who rejected you and came back are only mirrors showing what they lost: your growth, your calm, your unwavering self-worth. The Stoics teach us that control over our mind and our actions is the truest form of freedom, and silence is the tool that demonstrates it. From now on, don't let anyone manipulate your emotions. Don't let anyone diminish your value. Protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Let silence do the work that words cannot. Let it remind them, and more importantly, remind yourself, that you are untouchable when you honor your boundaries. You've healed, you've grown, and you've mastered restraint. That's strength they can't take away. If this video resonated with you, hit subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and step into the power of your own peace. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I am untouchable, my peace is my power, and I protect it without apology.